Hey, Pastor Steve here again. We're going back to Colossians chapter 1. Yeah, we're still in the first verse, but don't worry, we'll move on a little more rapidly as time goes on. But some important things I drew out of this. Last time we saw that who you are affects your message. Now Paul says, I'm an apostle of Jesus Christ. Who you represent affects your message. He's an apostle of Jesus Christ. He was highly educated. He was educated under Gamaliel. He was a knowledgeable man, but he stuck to the good news. He said in 1 Corinthians 2, I determined to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and him crucified. See, who you represent does affect your message. He stuck to the gospel, the good news. Over in Romans, he said, I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everybody that believes, the Jew first, also to the Gentile. He told in Romans 5:8 how Christ came to die in our place, even when we were still sinners. This was it was the crux of his whole ministry was the cross, was Jesus Christ and the gospel. He was an ambassador for Jesus. Funny thing about an ambassador, if they're not loyal, they'll wind up representing themselves instead of the one they're sent to. I remember a movie based on the life of Cyrano de Bergerac. He was a brilliant poet years ago and was ugly, and he loved this woman named Roxanne. Well, Steve Martin reenacted that in this movie called Roxanne. I don't recommend it. But it was this handsome young swain was after this pretty girl, and he he needed to breathe through his nose, I guess, because the oxygen hadn't gotten up there enough, I guess. And Martin was brilliant, and he was writing these love letters to Roxanne. Well, he actually loved Roxanne, but he didn't believe that any woman, ugly or cute, would have anything to do with him. But as he wrote these letters, Roxanne began to fall in love with the writer of these letters. And Steve Martin was representing himself, ultimately, and not a handsome young Dickens, after all. He was the real voice behind the arrogant youth. Who you represent affects your message. How could that callow youth know that the love letters were really written by the one who truly loved her and she'd sensed that? When we're brought into the family of God through Christ, we become ambassadors. We need to be loyal to the one who sent us. You ponder that, Pastor Steve.